Happy Friday, LREA members. It's your president, Teresa Knapp Gordon, here with your Friday Fireside Chat. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about standing together and why it's so important that we continue this fight. And I addressed this a little bit in the know today, so you'll see a little bit of that in there. But I wanted to reiterate how important it is that we continue to fight the injustices that are happening in our school district. So January 28th, 2015, we were taken over. January 28th, 2020 was the 5-year anniversary and the deadline for us to be released from state control. And yet here we still are under state control. And the reality is, I don't believe that they have any intention of letting us go until they are able to manipulate the system to fit their narrative. And that is why we must continue to fight. And I know that in the schools you're facing a lot of pushback. I know that you're having meetings, you're being called to meetings where you're being told that, they understand and they know how stressful this must be. And, is there really a win in this? Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. They're not sympathizing with you. If they are playing those games with you, they are doing exactly what they're supposed to do because their leadership, and they are manipulating you, quite frankly. And you just need to respond with, I think we can win this fight. I think we have the power to win this fight if we all stand together. And I think it's important to win this fight for our students in our public school system. And we have to be committed to that. I think that you're seeing some fear installation tactics in your schools. Principals are threatening to fire you if you take an action, or telling you that parents are not gonna like you anymore, and you must not care about the students if you're willing to walk out on them, or if you're willing to take actions that leave them in the schools without you. And that's just simply not true. That's a play on your emotions, and it's one of the oldest tactics in the book. I honestly, especially to tell you that you must not care about the kids if you're doing this, or that they're going to fire you, because first and foremost, there's not a lot of people out there waiting to take our jobs. There is actually a shortage of people who want our jobs. And I think that our students understand why we're fighting. By and large, I think they get that we're standing up for them, and I think that our parents deserve a great deal of appreciation because they have talked with their children and told them these things. And for administration to tell you that you must not care about the kids if you're willing to take action is just false. We know we care about the kids, and we know why we fight, and we fight for our kids. They're afraid because we have power, and we've shown that we have power. We've had some small wins, and sometimes it's really hard to see those wins whenever you're in the middle of the battle. But we have had some wins, and I think going forward we're going to have some more wins because we're fighting on the right side of this thing. Be careful of principals who play on your relationship with them. I know that we all try to get along with our principals, and sometimes, we become chummy with our principals. And, if they call you in and play on that relationship or play on your loyalty and say, you know, I can't do this if y'all are out. What am I supposed to do? Y'all can't leave me here by myself and things like that. That is just not cool. And that person is not your friend. But, you know, and likewise, if they're asking you what the plans are, because as soon as you tell them, they're going to tell other administrators, and it's going to get back to the people that we are fighting against. So don't fall for those traps either. The safest thing to do is to stand together, because together we have power, and our power is amazing and beautiful, and it's because we are fighting on the side of right. It's because we are fighting for our students, and we're fighting for our public schools, and we're fighting against big money players who like to lurk in the shadows and threaten our institutions so that they can make even more money. You know, when they tell us that we're greedy because we're taking these actions, or that we don't care about these kids because we're taking these actions, that is just so far from the truth. The reality is the people who are who started this fight, who want to disband our schools, those are the people who are greedy, and those are the people who don't care about our kids. So turn that narrative around on them and let them know that as educators, we feel that we have a moral obligation to fight. Because if we don't fight, if we don't stand up for our kids, who will? Who will? And personally, I'm not trying to go down in history as the person who helped sell our kids to the highest bidder. I will fight until I can't fight anymore, and I will stand beside you in this fight, and I know we will win this fight. So just a few things today to talk about, because I know that you're feeling the pressure, and I know that you're feeling stressed. I also want to acknowledge those of you who took big hits last time. You know, there's a lot of criticism out there, and I want you to know that you are some of the strongest of our warriors, and I'm proud of you. We're all proud of you, and we respect your decision. If you made the decision not to appeal your punishment, that's a personal decision that you had to make, and it's not for me to share that decision. But I do want you to know that we stand with you as well, and we value you, and we appreciate what you have done so far in this fight. So I want you all to have a great weekend, and I will see you next Friday. Thanks.